Hey, wait a minute, I got a great idea. I'll stick with you. You a mean green fighting machine. Together we'll scare the spit out anybody that crosses us.
Rise up, GG Nation! It's time for a digital guidance lesson from your internet school counselor. And today's topic, start with Hello Week. But hold up, you may be thinking. What does kindness have anything to do with Shrek? Well, stick with me and you'll discover how the true hero of that movie wasn't the green ogre, but his trusty steed, Donkey. Let's go! It's guidance time.
Man, I like you. What's your name?
Shrek.
Donkey's status as the true MVP of the first Shrek movie comes down to 3 traits: his fearlessness, his honesty, and a secret third trait that we'll get to in good time. But for now, we'll start with his first heroic trait. Donkey is fearless. Before he was the jolly green giant that he's known for being now, Shrek at the very beginning of his story was just not it. He was rude, obnoxious, and well, just plain gross.
Brother, what's that?
The beast who would save the world started out as a guy who didn't want anything to do with anybody and did everything in his power to make it happen. And it worked. Until Donkey showed up. He runs into the talking mule while he's minding his own business. And like with everybody else, Shrek tries to scare Donkey away by being rude, mean, and an all-around jerk.
You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk.
But Donkey shakes off the comments and the scary face and just keeps talking to him. Unlike everybody else around Shrek, Donkey isn't afraid to start a conversation with the strong man. But Shrek is determined to get this beast of burden off his case. Mr. Green even keeps the tiny horse outside his own house. Shrek tries real hard to tell Donkey, "Bro, I want nothing to do with you. Beat it." But Donkey don't care. And here's the real kicker. Donkey's annoying fearlessness, it works. Because when Shrek's home is taken over by every fairy tale creature from Pinocchio to the 3 little pigs, guess who Shrek decides to take along with him? That's right, the donkey.
Donkey!
But why, though? He spent all this time trying to ditch the guy, but now he wants to bring him on this grand adventure? If you saw the movie, you might be thinking, well, Donkey knew how to get to Duloc, where Farquaad is, the guy who sent all these characters here in the first place. And that's a solid point. But Shrek is used to doing things on his own. Why would he suddenly change his mind to be stuck with someone he's been trying to ghost the whole day? And we'll come back to that a little later. But for now, let's look at Donkey's second good point. He's honest. Throughout the first movie, Donkey tells his new friend how it is. He's not mean about it like Shrek can be, but he does tell Shrek the truth that sometimes he doesn't even want to hear. Like when he and Princess Fiona were catching feels during their adventure, Donkey is the only one to tell Shrek how he's really feeling, even when he's in straight up denial about it. In fact, it's because of that humpless camel that Shrek is able to realize, yeah, maybe he does like the princess who can throw down against a bunch of bros or make a literal balloon animal out of a snake. And now for the secret trait. The one thing that ties everything about Donkey together is the fact that he just doesn't care. He didn't care that Shrek didn't want him around. He didn't care about the crazy amount of danger that he'd run into. And at no point did he care what anyone else thought about him. Throughout Shrek, Donkey does what he does because he wants to. And when you combine that with honesty and fearlessness, that's a pretty dangerous person you're dealing with. Or Donkey in this case. More dangerous than even an ogre. But say you're not convinced yet. You may be wondering how all of this makes Donkey the real hero. Alright, how about this? Let's take a deeper look at Shrek and see what we can find. And don't worry, this all still connects to Start With Hello Week.
Ogres are like onions.
They stink?
No! Layers!
On the surface, Shrek is just a jerk. He's mean for no reason, gets a kick out of being rude to others, and as a result, has no friends. But here's the thing about Shrek that also connects to a lot of people IRL. He does all that on purpose. He's not a terrible person who does what he does and then acts surprised when no one wants to be around him. He wants to be alone. And why, do you ask? Shrek is a loner because he's been rejected. And this might be the case for some people in your class, grade, or school. Maybe the kid who everyone makes fun of really wants to have friends, but legit just doesn't know how. Or the student who gets the bully label. What if she acts like that because at one point she was bullied and convinced herself that the only way to not become a target is to make targets out of others? Being told that someone doesn't want to be your friend or being made to feel like you don't belong is painful. It can cause people to hide into themselves like Shrek did and keep others away. It can also cause people to lash out at others because they don't know how to deal with their pain. And because of that pain and how they deal with it, they, like Shrek, have a bad reputation. The people far, far away thought that Shrek was a for real villain, that he literally ate people and would destroy whole villages. But in reality, all Shrek wanted was to be left alone, because nobody wanted him around anyway. I guarantee you, if you were to think of someone in your school who you think is like Shrek, no matter who they are, they don't want to be left alone. It doesn't matter what they say, they don't want to be angry and turn everyone into their enemy. They want to be liked, they want to be accepted, they want to be with people they can get along with. And that's what's so important about Start With Hello Week. Start With Hello Week was created by Sandy Hook Promise, a nonprofit started by the parents of those who lost their children during the Sandy Hook Elementary School tragedy back in 2012. They started Start With Hello to encourage people to, not just to say hi to people, but to make connections with people, and ultimately give care to those who may feel lonely and isolated. And Donkey did that very thing for Shrek. He didn't care what his rep was, he talked to him anyway. He was there to listen to Shrek and show him that he wasn't going to reject him like everyone else around him. This week you have the opportunity to be like that noble steed. Be fearless in who you connect with, be honest with them, and don't worry about what other people might say. Because the people who are truly in your corner will always have your back. And even if you aren't super outgoing like Donkey, you don't have to reach out alone. Find that friend who can talk to anybody and work together. Because it's easier to be fearless when you have someone else there with you. Start With Hello is more than just a week of spirit days. It's an opportunity for you to lift the spirits of someone in need. Start With Hello gives us an opportunity to enjoy our friendships and create new ones. But if you want to know more about why we celebrate Start With Hello Week, check out this tribute video to those that we may have lost too soon, but whose legacy lives on in this special week. See you there. Guidance Guy out.